The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. 3-3 the score. It's all tied up on the scoreboard, but Coach Hank Stram, it's New Orleans statistically in this game. 141 yards passing to 31 for Tampa Bay. The rushing, the Bucs with a slim advantage.
And it goes back to the same old thing, Gary. There's always a lot of talk about stats, and they're very unimportant because the only stat that really matters is whether you won or lost and what the score is. And right now it's 3-3, and as you say, the Saints really have dominated the game offensively, but in spite of that, because of an interception on a nice drive, they go in at halftime 3-3.
You know, in that first half, a new record was set for New Orleans. Tony Galbraith caught 5 passes for 35 yards, giving him 74 for the year, and that breaks a record set by quite a wide receiver by the name of Danny Abramowitz, who had 73 catches in 1 year. So Galbraith setting the record, 74 grabs. He's had an outstanding year, and he's been really in all 3 years been just a remarkable football player for New Orleans.
You know, and the remarkable thing about it is, Gary, really is before we drafted him, everybody talked about his not being strong enough and injury prone, that he couldn't last. And it's funny how things work out, because he hasn't missed a play or hasn't missed a game in 3 years, and I really don't know how in the world they kept him off the All-Pro team, because he really deserved to be on that squad.
Abramowitz set that record in 1969. It's interesting how things develop. I had heard a rumor, and I don't know if this is true or not, that Archie Manning, they tried to trade him before the start of the year, that wanted to trade him to Buffalo in exchange for Joe Ferguson. I'd heard a couple of other places. Is there some truth in some of those rumors?
Well, you know how rumors are, but from pretty reliable sources, it seems to be true that that's definitely what they wanted to do before the season. And so there again is a great illustration how things can work out for a football team. Sometimes the best trades that you make are the ones that you don't make.
And Archie Manning has just been the difference in this football team all year long. And in this first half of play, the 1 interception is the only thing that marred a very fine first half again for him. Tampa Bay will be receiving as we start the second half of play. Steve Nickemeyer, who booted the field goal in the first half to give the Saints their 3 points, will be kicking off. He did miss a 51-yard attempt. Danny Reese goes back deep. He's flanked by Lewis Carter and Mark Cotney, and the second half is underway. Little squibber, it's going to be caught short, fumbled around, picked up, and eventually Jimmy Giles, the tight end, has it for Tampa Bay, and they have him at the 33-yard line. Barry Bennett flying down there. Bennett's seen a lot of action on the special teams. He was a third-round draft pick for New Orleans. Hasn't seen a lot of action, but he's big, 6'4", 257, a rookie out of Concordia. That's in the state of Minnesota. He's a first-team NAIA All-American.
Let's see if Doug Williams starts the game the second half with a forward pass, a play action. The tight end has been open several times on play actions, but he's overthrown the tight end. Thrown again on top.
And the far side, McKay coming up with it. Was it good? No, he was out.
Didn't get his feet in. It was thrown too far out in front. But the way the strong safety plays on the line of scrimmage, Ray Brown, number 27, it's very important for a team to throw on first down to get the tight end across the field on the other side, especially from play action. He was open a couple of times early in the game, but overthrew him. And let's see if they do that somewhere on this drive or in the second half.
From the 34, 2nd and 10, just underway. Second half of play. George Ragsdale is checked in, and this is Ragsdale with a football. And Ragsdale across the 35 to the 37, where it's going to bring up still third down, long yardage to go. Ray Brown, the strong safety, making the stop.
Ray Brown is an excellent tackler, does not cover the pass nearly as well. The thing that you want to do against him is get the ball upfield against Ray Brown if you can get him on the tight end or on a receiver. But trying to run at him when he's that close to the line of scrimmage is very, very difficult.
Reese comes in. Derlin Moore checks out in that forward wall for New Orleans. Mucker, McKay, the wide receivers. Obradovich is now the tight end. 3rd and 7. On a third down. Williams with time. Whoa, they almost took his head off. Reese came through and dropped him. And you worry a little bit about him because Williams playing with that broken jaw. That's an area he's very, very vulnerable.
Well, Reese did a good job of rushing the quarterback. He happened to hit him high, but that's, you know, you don't say because you got a bad jaw that I'm not going to try to tackle you around the head. You tackle him any way you can. He didn't do it intentionally, but it was a good, clean shot by Reeves, who Reese that time, who came in and did a good job.
He's got that special cage, and Hank, it looks like it's a good thing he had it built.
Yeah, that's right.
They called it a shark cage because the pun being is protecting his jaw. As it now comes to Wes Chandler. Chandler to the 30-yard line, and Chandler still on his feet. Look at that. He's got 4 or 5 orange jerseys that finally surround him and bring him down. Obradovich is down there. Excellent coverage that time. Chandler trying his best to get up the field. Rick Bonas also in on the stop for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and Inman was also in the play. He missed him the first time, but that old story about, I'll wait here, he'll come back again. He got him the second time around.
This Christmas card was sent to you by the people at Miller High Life. Merry Christmas.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, the 1958 Colts and Giants celebrate the 20th anniversary of their classic sudden death championship game with touch football in Central Park. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
All right, here we see another picture of Doug Williams back in the pocket. He looked like he was going to throw the ball. Reese jumps up on top, and then on his way down gets a piece of Doug Williams, but it was nothing flagrant, I don't think. It was nothing intentional. It was a good hit, and the Tampa team had the punt. New Orleans has possession, 1st and 10 on the 23.
That was a 47-yard kick, and we're talking about that new look on the CBS Sports Spectacular. It is that. I've had the opportunity to see some of the shows coming your way, so the new looks. CBS Sports back in 79. Now from the 23-yard line, a first down. Archie Manning off to Tony Galbraith. And Galbraith out across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Making the stop on that play was Cecil Johnson and Richard Wood. This Tampa Bay defense playing that 3-4, and those linebackers of Lewis, Selman, Wood, and Johnson, they are young, they're aggressive. What a future they have ahead of them.
And again, you really got to run right at those people. The Saints were only able to run for 46 yards in the half, but the most yardage came from direct shots at the defense, and that's the only way you're going to do a good job of moving the ball consistently on the ground against this Tampa team.
Number 71, Randy Crowder, has replaced Dave Pear at the nose tackle spot on a second down. Trying to get wide is Muncie, and Muncie across the 30 to the 31-yard line, which is going to bring up 3rd down, and still a good 2 yards to go. It was Cecil Johnson again on the stop.
That was a counter draw play, a fake of the fullback in front of the halfback, Chuck Muncie, going up the middle, veering to his left, and picking up a few yards in the play. Now it's 3rd down and 1 to go for the New Orleans Saints.
It's a long 1 to go, as now Dave Pear comes back in at nose tackle. Crowder checks out. There's Pear, number 76. Galbraith, Muncie, the running backs, 3rd down, a long 1. There's your 3rd down conversions.
Might be a play action pass here too. Let's see what they do.
They're going to play action. You call that one, Coach. Far side, and the intended receiver Galbraith, but a good defensive play that time by Cotney. The ball was hung up just a little bit, Hank. A little late arriving there, and they gave Cotney time.
Yeah, it was. It hung a little bit, and I think the sun was a factor at that time too. Looking back for the ball, they tried to isolate Galbraith on a linebacker, but that was really a great play by the defensive back, Mark Cotney, number 33.
Mucker goes back. Reese goes back. The twin safeties as Blanchard will kick. 12 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. 3-3 the score. Blanchard with another fine kick. Reese, he gets away. Oh, did he get hit at the 26-yard line by Jack Holmes. Holmes making the stop.
Maudie really covered the kick. He's remarkable. He has 25 unassisted tackles going into this game on specialty teams, which has got to be a world's record. And he has 4 other assists, but I don't know how anybody could keep him off the all-pro team as far as the specialty teams are concerned.
Charlie Hanna is shaken up.
I bought the family's first pinto because I liked its looks.
It looked like a good buy.
But I took Mom's pinto to college.
So we bought another pinto.
And I took that to college.
So we bought 2 pinto wagons.
His and hers.
Now we're a 4 pinto family.
Join the Pinto family, over 2 million strong and growing. The 79 Pinto. Compare. It may be the best small car buy in America.
We're a 4 pinto family now, but it's just a matter of time.
All right.
Hey, let's go play fireman. I've got a new fire helmet and fire engine. You can be the fire chief. I'll run the truck. I'll run the siren. Let's go.
Radio Shack's fire engine can be set for 6 different driving patterns with these easy-to-change cams.
Get ready, here it comes.
Set truck to go straight, in a circle, rectangle, oval, figure 8, even zigzag.
Stop the truck. Pull up the ladder.
Radio Shack fire engine and helmet sold separately. Comes with everything you see here, batteries not included.
Well, there's Santa Claus, which reminds us to wish you a Merry Christmas from CBS and the Swashbucklers. Oh, Santa's got some nice friends down there. All right, first down. Giles and Obradovich, the tight ends, from the 26-yard line. Up the middle comes Lewis Carter. And Carter to the 32-yard line. Power driving ahead as Tampa Bay has the ball at the 32 with a second down now. And still 4 yards to go.
One thing that you have to do against New Orleans, you have to run some counter plays and plays behind Fetterspiel because he gets such a good jump. He reads so well. Got to run counter plays and go behind his flow. Also throw the ball on Ray Brown, number 27, because he is not nearly as good against the run as he is, the pass as the run.
Here's Johnny Davis breaking out for a first down all the way to the midfield stripe. There's nothing fancy about that play. It's a quick pitch, and they got some running room.
The nice thing about it was they went on a quick count before the Saints were really ready. They hooked Lois Grooms that time. They got a good block on Tommy Myers, 37, and Clarence Chapman, finally, number 24, and Derlin Moore, 74, make the tackle. 18-yard gain on the play. Watch this block again on Tommy Myers. So you see Derlin Moore coming from behind to make the play along with Clarence Chapman.
On a first down, Carter, and he is met in the hole by Derlin Moore. Boy, Moore read that one extremely well. You know, we said before the last time out that Charlie Hanna was shaken up. We understand he has a pinched nerve. We don't know if he'll be back or not. So he is out of the lineup. Earlier in the game, Darrell Carlton hurt a knee. He will not be back for the remainder of this game. They lose a couple of yards on that play. Second down and 12.
You know, Dan Medlin they got from the Oakland Raiders, and he was an excellent prospect for them. They liked him very much as a guard. Now he's playing tackle for the Buccaneers.
Davis, Carter, the running backs. Williams on a second down and 12 up the middle. Giles, a big tight end, or check that. Obradovich couldn't hang on.
He's hit the tight end about 3 times, and he's been open, except he just hasn't maintained possession of the ball, but the shots were good ones. They should have been caught.
Radovich shaken up a little bit. He'll come off. They send their plays through the tight end quite often. As Mucker now comes in, and there's John McKay. 3rd year as a coach, the hat on.
Tommy Myers really did a good job on the play, too. Had good anticipation. As the ball was there, he made contact and forced that drop.
3rd down, still 12 yards to go. Mucker, McKay, the wide receivers. Williams going for, it looked like Mucker, but Mucker cut and made a move to the sideline. A little mix-up on that play.
I think he tried to hit the photographer that time.
And Doug Williams comes over to the near side. He's upset at himself.
One thing about that, it's better to throw it long and away from everybody than to throw it into traffic and perhaps get an interception.
So it breaks up 4th down, and Dave Green will be kicking. Wes Chandler goes back deep for the Saints. 3-3, all the scoring in the first quarter of this game. Fine kick by Green. Chandler calling for the fair catch. at the 17-yard line. So the Saints will have it. We're going to have a timeout here on this beautiful sunny day from Tampa with our score 3-3 with 9 minutes, 37 seconds left to go in quarter number 3.
No.
These are two of today's newest razors. The one on the right is the Norelco rechargeable rotary razor. This one has 2 blades and pivots up and down. The Norelco 36 rotary blades and 3 adjustable floating heads in a unique shaving angle. Both give you a close shave, but the Norelco lets you walk away from soap and water and just maybe a little surprise. Gotcha! The Norelco rechargeable rotary razor. No nicks, no cuts, no gotcha.
We'd like you to meet State Farm car insurance agent Mike Little, State Farm homeowners agent, State Farm life agent, and State Farm health agent Mike Little.
When it comes to family insurance, your State Farm agent is one agent who does the work for it, and that makes things a lot easier for you. Just one agent to tell your needs to. Just one agent to call when you need help.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
See the Mr. Universe competition on the new-look CBS Sports Spectacular for $79. Plus the Acapulco Cliff Divers and more. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
There's one of our friends here at Tampa Bay.
Looks like the Gong Show again.
It's a little warm down here to be wearing that outfit. First down now after that last kick by Dave Green. Give to Chuck Muncie. He's got some running room. And Muncie goes out to the 25-yard line, a couple of yards short of the first down. Mike Washington over to make the stop. Plays worked pretty well for him. Gain of 8 yards, second down 2.
Yeah, they get a slot formation to the right, which means they have both outside receivers on the right side of the ball. The tight end, Henry Childs, on the left side. The defensive safety man plays pretty soft over there. And Mark Cotney, number 33, and a slow force was able to pick up a good gain on the play.
Ike Harris, Wes Chandler, the wide receivers. Second down and 2. Manning with a play to kind of play around with now. But he's going for the first down, gives it to Galbraith, and Galbraith has it, and then some. He fumbles the ball. It's loose. Who's got it? It looks like New Orleans recovered their own fumble. Coming up with it is Muncie. And we'll give him the first down. It's a tough way to get it. So they keep this drive going. Line of scrimmage will be the 35-yard line. Crowder and Pear continue to alternate at nose guard or nose tackle, whichever you prefer. Pear is out, Crowder's in.
See if Archie throws this time on first down.
You got it. Far side, Chandler. Chandler for just about 5 yards on the play.
Another one that was much too low, and Archie is trying to get the ball out there so quickly to Chandler to let him run before the pursuit gets there that he's hurrying himself just a little bit. If he just waits a second longer, gets the ball at the numbers, and provides Chandler with the opportunity to work one-on-one on the defensive back, he'll really make a lot of yardage.
That time a gain of 5. Second and 5, just short of the 40-yard line. Baltimore leading Buffalo 7-0. All the scoring in this game in the first quarter on field goals. Saints dominating statistically, but not on the scoreboard. Here's the blitz. And Manning quickly got out of that difficulty. Incomplete, but Manning showed me some real quickness on that play.
Oh, he has quickness. The reason he showed it to you is because that's what he has. He's got a lot of quickness and agility. And that time again, the Tampa team is doing a good job of mixing up the coverages and the blitzes. They kind of lull you to sleep. They rush and rush and rush with 3 people. Suddenly they blitz. That time they blitzed the linebacker. The Saints weren't ready for that, and as a result, they had to jump out of the pocket and almost eat the ball. Fortunately, he got rid of it and didn't lose any yardage on the play.
That was Richard Wood, the linebacker, blitzing up the middle. Third down 5. New Orleans 4 of 10 on third down conversions. Manning with all day to throw. Childs. Oh, did he get hit? He hung on, though. That's a courageous catch by Childs.
I tell you, the courageous catch, but it was a fantastic throw by Archie Manning. It was a zone defense. He got by beyond the linebacker. You see, right over the top, he released it perfectly right between two defensive backs and a linebacker, Brown and Cotney, and also Dewey Selman. And the ball was a perfectly thrown ball. You can't throw it any better than that. If you hand it to him, you couldn't do a better job.
That is 50 catches for the year now for Childs. He now has 3 catches for today. First down, Manning, Chandler, good catch. That was not an easy one to make. And Lewis again making the stop. And Hank, I think what you said earlier applies again to that play.
Yes, that time it wasn't low, but again he hurried it, threw it to the outside. He made a beautiful one-handed catch, but it wasn't an opportunity for him to make a good catch, recapture his balance, and then work on the defensive back one-on-one, which is so difficult to do. You try to tackle him one-on-one, and it's very tough.
Gain of 4, but what they're doing with that, they're making them conscious of that play and the wide stuff, and then they went right back to Childs up the middle.
Yes, they did, and they're double covering the outside people. That's when they went to Childs.
Hanna's come in. Kohler has checked out defensively for Tampa Bay. 2nd and 6. Little delay to Muncy, and Muncy's taken off. He's to the 20, and that's another first down. Mark Cotney made the stop. And when you're passing well, it opens up your running.
Yes, when you throw the ball, you must draw, you must screen, and you must trap. They haven't run any traps yet on this team, but somewhere along the line, there should be a very good play because they're just rushing with 3 people. The linebackers are getting very deep, and anytime that happens, you ought to be able to trap and get inside that area in good shape. And
Kohler's in, Dave Pear is in. They continue to change up people on that forward wall for Tampa Bay. First down now from the 27. In motion comes Ike Harris.
They got a lot of room on the right side. They ought to be able to make some yardage.
And they are, as Galbraith, well, they stopped it to 22, but that play looked like it might develop into something bigger.
Yeah, he hesitated just enough going through the hole where the pursuit caught up with him. Had he just taken a move, right or wrong, made the decision, and gone right in that cavity, he would have made a lot more yardage on the play. But the delay right in here permitted the linebacker to get a good jump along with the defensive back, Cedric Brown, who was there initially. He caught up with the pursuit and did a good job of tackling on the play.
Bill Kohler also in on that play. Just inside the 22. 2nd down and 4. Ike Harris, Tinker Owens. The wide receivers. This is Muncy on a quick pitch. Muncy's got the first down to the 15. He's to the 10. He's to the 5. Touchdown. Chuck Muncy showing how he can run in the open field.
That's the way, running from the I formation, hitting the outside area quickly is what they did that time. And the great thing about the run was it was great running on the part of Chuck Muncy. Watch him go through some tacklers here. You don't get him with an arm tackle. Watch this. There's an arm tackle by Wally Chambers. Another arm tackle by Gerald White. Another shot high, but it's too late, and he carries him right into the end zone. A beautiful run by Chuck Muncy.
22-yard gallop, and now the Saints on top 9-3. Neckemeyer to attempt the point after. Beautiful run by Chuck Muncy. That's his 7th touchdown rushing of the year. Neckemeyer makes it. It's 10-3. 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. That was a very impressive drive, engineered by Archie Manning, culminating on this run. Chambers misses. White misses. Muncy stays on his feet. He's in for 6 points. It's 10-3.
This Christmas card was sent to you by the people at Miller High Life. Merry Christmas.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find this near your home.
Oh, hi, it's me again, posting and pasting more posters. This time it's for the first annual Delco battery sale. AC Delco is making it possible for you to buy a Freedom battery at a special sale price.
Thanks, Delco.
Wherever you see this poster, look for it in your neighborhood for a great price on a battery you can trust. Thanks, Delco. Well, you'll be saying thanks, Delco, too.
83-yard drive, an impressive drive, mixing the plays up well. Archie Manning, 21-yard run officially now by Chuck Muncie. Nickemeyer to kick off. And he hits a squibber again, and Giles, the big tight end, picks it up for the second time in this game, and he's going to get swarmed at about the 33-yard line. So they're trying to kick it away from Reese. Ron Crosby, the first to get there for New Orleans. And now the Saints with a 10-3 lead. That last drive, Hank, was a beautifully engineered drive.
It really was. It was off balance. Archie sprayed the ball from receiver to receiver, then ran the ball outside to Chuck Muncie, who made a beautiful run of 21 yards, running through some people in the process. And again, it's a great illustration of the kind of ability and skill that Chuck Muncie has.
You can see Williams having a tough day, 3 of 14, but he can strike in a hurry with that arm of his, and he's going to try it on first down. Far side, complete to Lewis Carter. He's got a first down. And so now the Buccaneers are trying to cut back. Just short of the 45. Ray Brown chased Carter out of bounds. First down, Tampa Bay.
It's just a very simple pass into the flat area. He sets up nicely. Again, not much of a rush. Throws the ball right on target. And he scampers down the sideline, Lewis Carter, and makes the first down on the play.
So just short of the 45, Obradovich and Giles, 2 tight ends in. We have 4:45 remaining in this third quarter. 10-3, New Orleans. Up the middle, Johnny Davis, the big fullback. Not a lot going on that play. He's across the 45, possibly the 46. It's Doug Williams trying to bring this football team back, trying to put it all together. He was playing so well before he suffered that broken jaw. He had a brilliant game earlier this year, passing for 311 yards against the Minnesota Vikings.
The difference in this game and the difference in a lot of games that the Saints have played really is the comparison of the quarterbacks, Archie Manning and the young quarterback, Doug Williams. There's no comparison because the young player hasn't played much, and Archie is having a fantastic year.
On a 2nd and 8 up the middle, he's got the big tight end. That's Obradovich, and he has another first down. And now Tampa Bay, wait a minute, we've got a flag. It's holding against Tampa Bay. Started to say Tampa Bay has put together 2 back-to-back first downs, but nothing doing.
And the tight end was wide open that time. He is especially open on first down. That time it was somewhat of a delay, but he popped clean. However, there was holding on the part of the Tampa team. We'll listen for the call in just a second.
Jordan McCarter steps off 10 yards, and that'll move the ball to the 36. And let's listen.
Holding. Number 72, offense, repeat second down.
That is Gary Petz, a veteran out of Valparaiso who was picked up the New York Jets as a free agent. He came over here the 6th game of the year. He'd been a 5-year starter for New York prior to that. So now it's 2nd and 18. Mucker, McKay, the wide receivers. Little delay up the middle to Ragsdale, and that didn't fool number 75, Alex Price. Price was 7 sacks this year, 3rd leading tackler on the team. He has played very, very well. He's had some problems, though, with the knee. He's in there to make that stop. 2nd down, or I should say 3rd down, and now about 17 yards to go. Lewis Carter comes in. Look at the penalties in this game. Davis, Carter, the running backs. Mucker, McKay, the wide receiver. 3rd and 17. Williams trying to get it back. Obradovich. Boy, that was close. Doug Williams had good touch on that pass.
Yes, he did. The tight ends have dropped about 4 or 5 balls in this game so far that should have been caught. There's a great illustration of Henry Childs would have made that catch. Obradovich just reached far enough. Had possession, could have caught it at the end of the ball, but he didn't. Falls incomplete, and a punting situation for Tampa. But here's a double zone that time. Here Fetterspiel is covering on the play. That's the kind of a situation that you like, but he just dropped the football.
Dave Green with another fine kick. Chandler at the 15-yard line. And he's hemmed in short of the 25. Good coverage that time by Dana Nofziger, number 51. He's always around that football. He is the Rich Motti of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So now the Saints will have it. with still 3:02 left in this third quarter. Tonight on CBS, we're going to start the evening off with television's #1 weekly news attraction, 60 Minutes. Then it switches to comedy. They're back together. Archie, Edith, Mike, and Gloria reunited for Christmas in a 1-hour special edition of All in the Family. Then Kaz and Dallas round out tonight's activity right here on CBS. First down from the 23.
Mike Strawn is at halfback position now.
And Mike Strawn's not going to go anywhere. Washington came up. Cecil Johnson came up. Dewey Selman was there. And they literally stuffed that play.
Yes, they just ran a sweep to the left side with the tackle, Taylor, pulling on the play along with Sturt. But the reaction of the right linebacker, Cecil Johnson, was excellent. And they lose 2 yards on a play, makes it 2nd and 12. But again, normally it's very difficult to take the ball from one side of the ball to the other and make yardage against this team the way they pursue.
And when you're playing one of the best defenses in the NFL, Galbraith, Strawn remain in as the running backs. 2nd and 12.
They faked the safety blitz that time.
Manning, it's deflected up. It's up for grabs. Intercepted. Picked off by David Lewis. And Lewis has it inside the 25-yard line. J.T. Taylor is the guy that made the tackle. But Lewis with a big interception, the second interception of the afternoon by Tampa Bay.
But here again, the blitz confused them. You say that they kept faking it. That time they had a safety blitz with Mark Cotney. Archie Manning very wisely changed the play with the anticipation of trying to hit Tinker Owens one-on-one. The ball was deflected, popped up into the air, was intercepted by Dave Lewis. Tampa has possession, 1st and 10 on the 25 of the New Orleans Saints.
That was Dewey Selman who got a hand on the ball and deflected it up in the air. The big middle linebacker out of Oklahoma. So at the 25-yard line, a break now. Here comes Ragsdale. Ragsdale to 15 to the 10. Ragsdale to the 7-yard line. And the crowd here is on their feet. Derlin Moore made the stop on Ragsdale, who's playing with a heavily padded shoulder pad with that bad shoulder.
That time they hooked to Lois Grooms, got a block on Pat Hughes. Here you see it. He runs inside of Pat Hughes, outside of the Lois Grooms. Derlin Moore coming from the inside, and he finally makes the tackle. Good pursuit, good hustle, typical hustle on the part of Derlin Moore from his right tackle position.
At the 7-yard line. 1st and goal. Tampa Bay trying to tie this game up. Giles and Obradovic, the 2 tight ends. Doug Williams now. What's he want? Evidently he could not hear. So the official stops it momentarily. 1:17 remaining in this third quarter. Doug Williams, a very emotional guy. He's been out there a couple of times showing a lot of frustration, but he started now to put it together here as he's throwing the ball much better. As an end result, his running game has picked up.
I tell you, Dan Medlin really did a good job on Grooms that time, and they also did a good job on Pat Hughes to provide that running room.
All right, here we go. 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Lewis Carter, Johnny Davis are running backs. This is Davis up the middle, and Davis to the 3. Alex Price making the stop. Tom Myers also on the tackle. 2nd and goal. At the, well, they're going to give him about the 2-yard line area.
Little high did a little right up the middle. That's all it is, right over.
Doesn't get much, and it's going to come to a 3rd and goal. As we have 30 seconds remaining in this third quarter. An official's timeout right now while they unpile. And they'll put the clock back into motion. Bucker is going to come into the lineup. Also John McKay for Tampa Bay. The clock started up again. 25 seconds left in the third quarter.
Let's see if they throw a pass this time, or they have 2 downs to make 2 yards. And I'm sure that's what they'll elect to do. They'll try to get the 2 yards into 2 plays. Let's see what they do this time, especially if they might try to run outside to the right.
3rd and goal at the 2. That's Mucker in motion. Williams wants to throw. He's going to run it, and he's not going to make it. Doug Williams did not get in. It's going to bring up a 4th down. It was Alois Groom who's over there to make sure he didn't get in.
Yes, it took him too long to make a decision. He had plenty of time to run the ball in, but he was looking for somebody to throw the ball to. By the time he made that decision, Lois Grooms really did a great job from his in position and made the stop.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score, New Orleans 10, Tampa Bay 3. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Tuesday, the millionaire returns.
This is a cashier's check for $1 million, tax-free.
The all-new Millionaire on the CBS Tuesday night movie.
This is CBS.
Sunday in a one-hour special, All in the Family. The Binders go to California for Christmas, but the heat outside can't match the heat between Gloria and Michael.
Sooner or later, they're gonna find out that we're separated.
I've been seeing another man.
It's a Christmas of surprises in the special All in the Family. Sunday at 8/7 Central and Mountain.
The ball at the 2-yard line as we start the fourth quarter. 4th and goal at the 2, and they're going for it.
This is when it's tough to be a quarterback and a coach to make these kind of calls. Let's see what they call.
Williams, he's going
he's
to run
open.
it. He's throwing, touchdown to Giles. Jimmy Giles, that's his second touchdown catch of the year.
He looked like he ran right out of the bleachers. I don't know what happened on the coverage that time, but he was wide open. A beautiful call. Nicely designed. He has no play action, no nothing. He just rolled out. Fetterspiel is blitzing on the play and throws right over the top. It looks like Clarence Chapman. And a beautiful play by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And now Donahue will try to tie this game up, as that was the first play of the fourth quarter. Donahue's kick is on the way. He got it, and it's all tied up 10-10. As on a 4th down, Williams rolls out, hits Giles. He made it look so easy. After 3 previous cracks, couldn't get it in.
Yeah, I just can't believe how open that tight end was on the play.
Polaroid's one step, simplest camera in the world. You don't even worry about batteries.
Lifetime batteries?
No, they don't put a battery in it.
It doesn't need one.
Of course it needs one.
So far, your camera won't work.
The battery's built into the film pack. You get fresh power every time you load. Only Polaroid has it. You get this brilliant color in minutes.
Pretty, but I don't see a battery.
It's not in the film, it's in the film pack.
I don't think you know where it is.
Get a one step.
For those parents who realize that $600 isn't too much to spend to expand their child's world, Radio Shack has the perfect gift. TRS-80 computer, the most significant investment a parent can make. Programs for your child's education or your business, finance, and home use. Let your children discover tomorrow's technology today. The TRS-80, the biggest name in little computers. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
So here we are in Tampa with a deadlock football game, 10-10, and some of the color and excitement on this beautiful afternoon as Williams hitting Giles from 2 yards out to deadlock this game. The kick to Chandler. Chandler on the fly. Look out. Chandler is across the 45, and his forward progress will be just across the 45. Dave Green, who kicked off, made the tackle. Boy, that Chandler, he's got some courage, doesn't he?
You got to give your specialty team hand grenades when they cover kicks of him back there, because boy, he is really murdered. I get nervous up here just watching him bring the ball back.
He's going to be playing a lot of football.
But the nice thing about it is there's never any indecision on his part, and he's a long strider for a little guy. He got the ball in the wrong arm again, but he, other than that, why, he was very good for distance.
Just across the 45, a first down, just underway. Fourth quarter, it's all tied 10-all. Ike Harris comes in motion.
They're going to run right. Let's see if they do. Yep.
Manning complete to Childs, and Childs with yet another catch, his 51st of the year. Jarris White over there to make the stop. And what made you feel that they're going to run right?
Well, they had a wingback on the right side, Gary, and they sent the halfback in motion to the right side. They flooded the area in case if it's a zone. Why, they got 3 receivers, 3 on 2, a short man on defense and a long one. Somebody has to be open. The middle man was open, Henry Childs, good for a first down.
There's that last drive set up on the interception by Dave Lewis. And then the touchdown pass from Williams to Giles to deadlock it. Owens, Harris, the wide receivers. First down. Up the middle comes Galbraith, and Galbraith is inside the 35-yard line.
Holding penalty on the play, it looks like. I'm not sure, but let's see what they call. They dropped the flag near the line of scrimmage.
That offensive line of New Orleans, early in the year, losing Conrad Dolder, along with Emmanuel Sanders, John Watson. They call him the no-name offensive line. And they have had to shore it up in there. John Hill, the leader in that center spot. And the rookie, J.T. Taylor, who made the all-rookie team that was released this week. So the penalty's going to bring it back.
The Tampa team really hasn't had much success protecting or defending against the...
Holding, number 68, offense, repeat first down.
That's Fred Sturt.
But they haven't had much success containing the offense, but when they just rush 3 people, they've kept them off balance with the blitzes, and they've come up with 2 good interceptions in those situations, but I think they're going to have to blitz a little bit more to keep them off balance. Here's a double tight formation again, double wing. See if they blitz it this time or let them rush with 3.
Hardy and Childs are both in the lineup now, both of them tight ends.
Yeah, they just rush with 3 people.
First and 20 pass now for Manning. Up the middle, Hardy. And Hardy, with his 3rd catch of the day, he came in here with only 3 previous to this, so he's been very active today.
They cannot protect against that formation. Double wing means they have 2 receivers on the right side, 2 on the left side, a fullback at home, 4 people quickly down the field. They can't cover it with a 3-man rush. They've got to put more pressure on Archie if they expect to stop that formation.
A first down catch. Galbraith and Strawn, now the running backs. Larry Hardy, he was a 12th round draft pick out of Jackson State, and he has 3 catches today. From the 23-yard line, Tony Galbraith trying to swing wide, and he cuts it inside the 20, but there's a flag.
Looks like a clipping penalty possibly on the play. I don't know what they're going to call it. Let's see what they call.
Well, New Orleans overcoming a holding call. Now they may have to battle back against yet another penalty. No preliminary signal as of yet. Discussion going on with Selman. Dewey Selman, the brother of Leroy Selman. His brother with a knee injury, out for the year. He underwent knee surgery.
You know, the unusual thing about this Saint team is the fact that normally the rule of thumb is that it's much more difficult to teach pass protection than it is run blocking. And with all the changes they've done and had to make, or they've really done a much better job with pass protection, which is usually not the case, and haven't blocked nearly as well for the run.
Gordon McCarter, let's listen.
Holding, number 33, offense, during the run, first down.
That's unusual. Mike Strawn during the run holding. You don't see that called very often.
Well, he's trying to block a linebacker on the outside. There you see him. He's trying to block the outside linebacker, and Galbraith has the option to go inside or outside. He elected to go inside, and evidently Strawn was holding on a play. The double wing formation again. Let's see if they blitz it. They blitz it this time. They run a draw.
20, Galbraith, he gets past the blitz, and he makes it to the 26-yard line. Randy Crowder made the stop, but you called it, and actually they came out pretty well against that.
Yes, they did. A lot better than what they've done in the past by just sitting back there and sitting in a rocking chair, rushing with 3 people.
You know, Atlanta's already clinched a berth in the playoffs, and they are trailing now in the 2nd quarter to St. Louis, 21-14. We understand in that San Francisco game against Detroit, San Francisco's now playing Freddie Solomon at quarterback. Of course, he played his collegiate football right here at the University of Tampa.
And he was a good option quarterback here at Tampa. Another blitz that time.
On a 2nd and 12, he's got him, Childs, and Childs to the 5. It seems as though, Hank, every time you need a big play, number 85's there.
Yes, and anytime you get the ball close to him, he's going to suck it up because he's got very good soft hands. Here you see him again, the double wing formation. And that time, even though they blitzed, they picked up the blitz. That's 4 against 5, and it's still not good odds as far as the pass protection is concerned. Archie read it perfectly, got the ball right on the numbers to Henry Childs. 1st and 10, Saints.
Boy, Childs is having quite an afternoon for the New Orleans Saints. Has the ball now at the 5. It'll be 1st and goal. New Orleans battling right back after being tied up in the game. Here comes Strawn trying to go wide. Strawn is going to make it to the 2. That play has scored quite often this year to Mike Strawn.
Yes, it has. They normally like to run that to the wingback formation. They put a wing on the right side or left side, try to get good blocking angles. And when I talk about a wing formation, I talk about a formation where there's a player, a tight end or a back or a flanker on the outside of the tight end. That's a wing formation close. They like to run it from that formation. That time they ran away from the flanker and got a good chunk on first down.
Second down now, goal. The ball just about the 2-yard line. Boy, Manning's been busy. You can see 33 pass attempts. Up the middle is Galbraith. No, he faked it. Beautiful fake. Touchdown to Henry Childs. Oh, he faked everybody out of the ballpark on that one.
Delayed. It was a delay. It was the same play that the Atlanta team used against them to beat them on the last play of the game a couple of weeks ago. We call it a tight end hide. He blocks down, and then you see him come across the other side of the field. The back was waiting for him, so he wisely just stopped and let the back go beyond him. He was wide open behind the back, stayed right in bounds perfectly. Touchdown, New Orleans Saints.
Boy, what really set that up, though, is that fake up the middle. They went after Galbraith. And now 16-10, point after attempt by Nickemeyer. Nickemeyer's kick is good, and it's now 17-10 as New Orleans comes roaring right back after having this game tied up on the first play of the fourth quarter. Impressive drive by New Orleans, capped on that touchdown pass to Henry Childs, as it's a 7-point lead again for New Orleans.
Ford introduces a new wagon for the American road. The all-new LTD Country Squire for $79. A new wagon with more driver convenience, more handling ease, more window area, and more passenger room than last year's Country Squire.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
The all-new Ford LTD Country Squire for $79. See it at your Ford dealer now.
Used to be, when I had a job to do around the house, it was one-on-one. Me against the house. And since the house was much bigger, I usually lost. Well, I've just changed all that with my new Black & Decker Workmate. It'll hold just about anything I want to work on, from a door to a pipe to a 200-pound dresser. In fact, my Workmate is so good at helping me work, I'm giving it Sunday off.
Workmates available from about $45.
See the best in boxing every week on the new look CBS Sports Spectacular starting January 6th. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Let's go back, Hank, on that touchdown play to Childs and then see what a fake set it up.
Yeah, the key to the whole thing was a beautiful fake by Tony Galbraith. Look at this fake. And a good fake is one whereby the faker is tackled. He was tackled and hit that time, which makes linebackers and defensive backs have to gang up on him, and somebody else has got to be free. That's what happened on that play.
All right, we're ready to go. 17-10, Nickemeyer to kick off.
But the key to the whole drive was the fact that Wes Chandler brought it back to the 45-yard line and gave him excellent field position.
Ragsdale's going to let that one go out of the back of the end zone. On that last drive also, we should mention that Archie Manning was 4 of 4 for 64 yards. And Childs making the big catches on the drive and the one for the touchdown. A drive of 80 yards. Check that again. Childs was 6 catches for 80 yards and the 1 touchdown. Davis, Carter will be the running backs as John McKay's crew, after tying it up 10-10, 4.5 minutes later, find themselves again down by 7.
Let's see if they try to hit that tight end on the backside here from a play action. He's been open many times. Now they go back in the pocket.
Williams trying to get it back in a hurry. He's got his man, Mucker. He made the catch. And he was interfered with, but he still caught the ball.
What a fantastic catch that time by Larry Mucker, number 87, who came into the game with 11 catches. Fantastic play. You couldn't defend it any better than Clarence Chapman did, number 24. But he threw it over the top. He made a fantastic catch. Here it is. Again, the Saints haven't provided any kind of pressure on the quarterback all afternoon.
That was McGill who was back there on the play, and Mucker, despite being interfered with, held on to the ball. And they now have the explanation coming up. Of course, they'll refuse it and have a first down at the 32.
That was a 48-yard gain on the play. A beautiful shot to Doug Williams, by Doug Williams to Larry Mucker, number 87.
You know, and you got a guy like Williams, you're in any football game, as he can throw the football. Davis and Ragsdale, the running backs, the first down at the 32. Here comes Ragsdale, and he's popped by Pat Hughes, and another flag.
Another flag on the play. This looks like it should be against Tampa. Now, I don't know for sure what it is, but we'll see in just a second.
Hughes coming up to make the stop. The forward progress is going to be holding against Tampa Bay. So we've had quite a few of those in the second half of play. But to get back to Williams, you can just see the potential on this guy, Hank, when he throws the ball. He just lays it out there beautifully.
You know, he's got great skill, good range, good timing, and of course an excellent arm. And you know, the other thing about it is he's very daring. He's not afraid to throw the ball into areas.
Number 75 offense. Repeat first down.
That's Dave Rivas.
You have to have that kind of a gun when you're throwing against zone defenses, to throw behind the linebackers and in front of the defensive backs. He pierces those areas as well as anybody I've seen.
So the 10-yard penalty makes it first to 20. Williams, pressure put on by Campbell. He gets rid of it to Ragsdale. Ragsdale gets across the 40. He's to the 38. Alex Price making the stop. And Williams showing a quick release that time because Joe Campbell came pouring in on him. But they still got a long ways to go. It's going to bring up second down and still about 15 yards to go.
Yeah, I think Don Reese that time, the defensive right end, looked like he had pretty good pressure, or right tackle, along with Joe Campbell. But he got rid of the ball nicely on that quick screen.
Carter, Davis, the running backs. Williams back. He's been busy in this fourth quarter over the middle, and he's behind his intended receiver, Giles, as Williams is decked. He's dropped at the 50-yard line. Reese getting back there. So it'll come to a third down and still 17 yards to go. You can see how that face mask of Williams goes clear underneath the jaw, so as to protect him should he catch an arm underneath.
Where they're pressuring and coming off the ball now, the Saints, a trap play or a draw play would be very good to get the ball down a little closer and then possibly go for it on fourth down. Let's see what they choose to do on this play.
3rd and 17 from the 39 of New Orleans, and look at that, they're 0 for 8 in third down conversions. Grooms came across. Was he drawn off? What happened?
Yeah, I think the Tampa team was offside.
Looked like Gary Petts, the right side guard, may have moved. But did you see that stat a moment ago? Tampa Bay is 0 for 8 in third down conversions. And now they've got a tough one, and it's going to be even tougher because of the illegal procedure coming up against them. 5 yards stepped off.
Going to be very hard to get all that back.
Start. Both 64 and 68 offense. Still third down.
That'll be Greg Horton and Dan Medlin, the two that moved. It was not Pence. It's Medlin, Horton moving.
Let's see what they choose to do here on this 3rd and 21 situation.
9:57 remaining in this game. 17-10 New Orleans. Williams, he's trying to get it all back up the middle, and Giles couldn't hang on.
You can't throw the ball any better than that. The tight ends really have dropped about 5 balls on Williams today that they should have caught, but you can't throw the ball any better to a tight end in a zone situation than he threw it to Giles that time, and he dropped another one. And he's supposed to be a very outstanding tight end who they got from Houston, but he certainly hasn't been that impressive in this game here today.
They got him in that trade of first-round draft choices that gave Houston first pick for Earl Campbell. They also get a number 2 pick in 78, a number 3, and a number 5 in 79. And that kick is going to go out of bounds at the 16-yard line by Dave Green. So New Orleans, with that 7-point lead, has the football with 9 minutes and 45 seconds left. We're going to be back with more from Tampa Stadium in just a moment.
We could tell you that Pioneer's PL518 probably offers today's best value in a direct drive turntable. We could tell you its tone arm rides on 10 times the conventional number of ball bearings for smoother tracking, or that its direct drive motor all but eliminates wow and flutter. But nothing we tell you will be as convincing as this. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.
Hawaii has many faces, all calling to you. Come, paddle my quiet lagoons, discover my miles of endless beach.
Come walk across my volcanoes, explore my mysterious caverns, come play in my tropical wonderland.
Come, fly my airline to Hawaii. United, we built the largest airline in the free world.
Round you, my friend, fly the friendly skies.
So we have 9:45 left in this game. That was a 27-yard kick by Dave Green, but effective kick. Out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So New Orleans with a 7-point lead. The attendance today, 51,207. Ike Harris is in the game. Also Wes Chandler's the wide receivers. Muncie and Galbraith the running backs. Give to Galbraith, and Galbraith is to the 20. He's to the 25-yard line, about a yard short of that first down. Curtis Jordan and Jarris White reacting to make the stop.
That was a counter play, kind of a counter play with a reverse pivot, which means that the quarterback, instead of just facing out to the back, reverses his turn and hands off to the fullback. They got the linebackers flowing a little bit. He ran behind the flow, made a nice gain, and is 2nd and 1. A good waste down and a good time for Archie maybe to throw another play action pass on this situation. Let's see what he does. And interestingly enough, Tampa is 0 for 11 on third down situations. New Orleans is 6 for 11.
And they come to a 2nd down now, and as you mentioned, they may play with this one. Nope, they're going to play it conservatively, and Galbraith has the first down to the 29-yard line. Wally Chambers, number 60, making the tackle. Chambers they acquired for their first-round draft pick in 1979. The Chicago Bears, also a tight end Bob Moore, who since has ended up with Denver. Boy, is Dallas playing well down the stretch.
Oh, they're really coming on like gangbusters, and that's the time for you to win big and win in bunches and near the end of the season going into the playoffs.
Now, Philadelphia, if they win that, and Green Bay loses out west, as does Minnesota, the Eagles are in the playoff.
Look at this. Muncie and Galbraith have both rushed 10 times, both for 56 yards.
And they have caught the ball extremely well. A first down, 8:14 left in the game. Here's a give to Galbraith again, and he hammers it for 5. A flag, though, has been thrown. Bill Kohler, Wally Chambers combined on the stop. Preliminary signal is holding against New Orleans.
St. Louis 28-14 over Atlanta.
Well, Atlanta's in the playoffs. The question we had is how that would affect their home field position should they lose that football game.
And look at this one. Cincinnati 31, Cleveland 16.
I tell you, Cincinnati has really played well now, haven't they?
Listen, they're going to wind up winning 3 or 4 games in 78, and they could just reverse that record next year because they've got a fine, young, excellent football team, and it's a great illustration what happens to a team when they lose their outstanding quarterback like Kenny Anderson.
Gordon McCarter, let's see who the holding calls on.
Holding, number 62, offense, repeat first down.
That's John Hill, the center.
John Hill, the offensive center, is caught holding on the play, but I tell you, John's done a great job offensively. He's not overly large, but he's got good leverage, good quickness, and has done a remarkable job as the anchor man in that offensive line.
So it's 1st and 20 now. 8:08 left in this game. Ike Harris in motion. Give to Muncie. Muncie trying to get outside. He's got some running room to the 30-yard line, so he gets some of it back. He gets 10 of those 20 yards back.
And he was just a step away from going all the way on the play. Limping off the field, evidently he turned an ankle or something.
We have another man shaken up in the vicinity of the 30-yard line. So they'll stop the clock. So it'll bring up 2nd down and still about 10 yards to go. So we'll be back to update the injury situation with the Saints leading by 7.
When you need to rent a truck for company business or yourself, call Hertz and rent the exact truck you need at a price that can save you money. Hertz has been adding even more new trucks, and that means more reliable trucks, from Econoline vans up to giant tractors. You name it, Hertz rents it. And if you're moving, do it yourself with the easy-to-drive Hertz truck and save. So when you need a Ford or other reliable truck, make Hertz your #1 call. There's a location near you.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Merry Christmas.
Second,
you guys, where do you think you're going? Merry Christmas.
So tonight, let it be low and brown.
It's been a good year. It sure has.
Tonight.
Here's to good
Let it
friends.
be low and brown.
Tuesday, the millionaire returns.
This is a cashier's check for $1 million. Tax-free.
The all-new Millionaire on the CBS Tuesday night movie.
That was a very costly play, that last play for the Saints. Tony Galbraith is helped off the field. Chuck Muncie went limping off the field, so their two ace running backs are out of there now, and Mike Strawn and Kim Jones replace them.
2nd and 8 situation.
7.5 minutes left in the game. Ike Harris goes in motion. Archie Griffin gives to Strawn, or check that, Kim Jones, and Jones to the 32. And now they move to a 3rd down and still about 8 yards to go. Dave Pear, David Lewis combined on the stop. Jones has only carried the ball 4 times this year, 1 catch. Played very well, however, on the special teams.
Yes, he's big and he's strong. He's 235 and about 6'4". But he's a good sledgehammer, power kind of a runner. Very dependable and steady, and good, especially on blocking situations and also short yardage.
So Manning with a 3rd down now, 8 yards to go. Chandler and Harris, the wide receivers.
Safety blitz.
He gets it off to Chandler. Chandler's going to get the 1st down. He's to the 40-yard line, and it looks like he got it, but maybe a half yard, as Jarris White was over there to make the stop.
Well, he's tough to tackle, I tell you. And Archie saw the safety blitz coming right up the middle. Wisely threw it outside in good shape quickly, but here's what this Wes Chandler can do. Look at it, it's a nothing pattern, but he makes the catch and stretches a no-gainer into a 1st down situation for the Saints.
That was a big 1st down. Boy, St. Louis playing so well in the 2nd half of the season after losing their first 8 games, and they're putting one on Atlanta right now. Atlanta with a big win last week against Washington, losing the previous week to Cincinnati. So they're in the process of losing 2 of their last 3. On a 1st down, Strawn. And Strawn gets a yard, maybe 2, and that's all. That was a big 1st down a moment ago, as New Orleans keeping the football. Chambers, Pear combining on the stop. 2nd down and 8. Clock moving with 6:28. Philadelphia now has taken a 20-3 lead over the New York Giants. Frank LeMaster, the linebacker, intercepted a pass and scored for Philadelphia. That defense has played so well for the Eagles.
They really have, and it's a great compliment to Vermeil, because that really is not that great a football team. He's won a lot of games, has done a good coaching job.
Harris in motion again, play action, Manning setting up, and a flag has been thrown. He is cranking up to Chandler, and Chandler just kept that ball from being intercepted on that play.
He showed a lot of good judgment, a lot of poise for a young player that time. That ball was up in the air and would have been intercepted, but he very wisely knocked it down to prevent that interception. I don't know what the call is going to be, but there is a handkerchief called or dropped on the play, a yellow flag. Let's see what they call.
It's holding against Tampa Bay. That would give New Orleans a 1st down. Again, on that last play, Manning showing the ability to poise, the quickness to scramble out of that situation, still throw the football. He's got it all if he can stay healthy after those 2 shoulder operations. Hank, it was a long year for him when he had those 2 operations.
Well, he missed 1 year entirely, and of course,
Holding, number 57, defense, 5 yards and automatic 1st down.
That's David Lewis, the linebacker.
Yes, and so the Saints have a 1st and 10 situation. 5:59 left in this game.
You see, Lewis, he's not happy. He didn't think that was a correct call, and he's letting Gordon McCarter know about it.
Yeah, they're a very emotional team out there at this stage, trying desperately to get back into the game and win it, or tie it. They've got to tie it before they can win it. Looks like it's going to run to the right. Let's see what they do.
Strawn and Jones are running backs. The first down by the penalty. A give to Strawn, and he gets across the 50 to the 49. Dewey Selman making the stop for Tampa Bay. You know, this Tampa Bay team, they were 4-4. Then they lost 2 straight on last-second field goals to Green Bay and Los Angeles. And at that time, they also lost Doug Williams. They were in the chase up to that point.
Freddie Solomon just ran 11 yards from the quarterback position. 7 points for the 49ers. Now it's 27-14 Detroit over San Francisco.
Solomon is playing in that game, by the way, because Steve DeBerg and Scott Bull both have been injured. Second down, 7. This is Strawn, and Strawn is met hard as he tries to take it up the middle. May have gotten a yard, and that's all, and we come to a third down. Time starting to become very important in this game now as we approach 5 minutes remaining.
All they got to do now is go into their double wing formation. They haven't covered that formation all afternoon. Let's see if they do that on this 3rd and 7 situation. No, they don't, I guess.
4 minutes, 50 seconds. The clock running, a third down, another important third down for New Orleans, who's held on to this football. They started this drive from their own 16-yard line.
Well, Chandler's got a lot of room on the left side.
Play action by Manning. This is Kim Jones. Jones, he has the first down, but he fumbles the ball. He fumbled the ball. Who's got it?
Looks like Tampa might have it.
That's it. Tampa Bay has taken over at the 41-yard line. Kim Jones, with only his 2nd catch of the year, had it, had the first down, and all of a sudden the ball got away from him.
It's a fake inside to Mike Strawn. Archie throws outside. There you see Kim Jones. He tries to dance away from Jerish White, gets hit from the inside. The ball pops loose and recovered by Tampa. They have possession, 1st and 10. Here it is again, another angle. Jerish White, good tackle there. Selman is close by, 61 and 56.
Cecil Johnson.
Cecil Johnson makes the recovery.
It was Lewis that stripped him with the ball. Now here's a little gadget play to Carter. Looked like he wants to throw. He does, and it's incomplete. Carter was designed, I think, Hank, to throw that ball on the other side of the field, but they were on him so quickly he had to change it.
Yeah, he made an impromptu move that time very wisely because he was in trouble and just threw it at the numbers so he wouldn't lose yardage on the play.
So Tampa Bay, a little gadget play, doesn't work. It's 2nd down 10, 4:12 left. Davis and Carter, the running backs. 17-10 our score. New Orleans with the lead. They took the lead in this 4th quarter with 10:56 left to go. Here's Williams on the 2nd and 10. Lots of time now. Scrambles out. Giles, a big tight end. He keeps going to number 88. They haven't been able to get together.
He looks like he's been playing with ping pong paddles out there this afternoon, the way he's dropped those balls. I'd be very discouraged if I was a quarterback. He dropped about 4 or 5 balls in this game today.
Well, they're going to practice until they get it right.
Well, he'll have all time. He'll be out there by himself for the next 6 months trying to catch passes.
3rd down 10 from the 41. Dallas now leads the New York Jets 30-7. And Cincinnati leads Cleveland 34-16 in the 4th quarter. Chris Barr just kicked a field goal. Bucker and McKay, the wide receivers. Tight end Obradovich, 3rd and 10. This has not been a good play for Tampa Bay on 3rd downs, and they don't get it again. Good pressure by Joe Campbell, number 73. Reese, 60. And now Tampa Bay is going to have to kick the football, and they're going to be kicking it. The line of scrimmage, the 27-yard line.
That's the first sack of the afternoon, I think, isn't it? Or maybe the 2nd. But Joe Campbell gets good outside pressure, gets him on the shoulder pad, and caves him in. A good job. Don Reese, number 60, comes over to help him, but Joe Campbell, 73, did the damage.
Now Dave Green has passed on punt formation. And with 3:47, is he going to kick it? Yes, he is. A good rush was put on that time by Holmes. Wes Chandler with the catch, going wide.
He's got a chance.
45 to the 46-yard line. Anytime he has a football, there's a chance of something really big happening. Charlie White made the tackle. And now New Orleans, with 3.5 minutes left, would like to just eat up the remaining time and put victory number 7 in their hip pocket. The NBA on CBS, Christmas Day. What a way to spend Christmas Day, beginning at 4 o'clock Eastern. Billy Cunningham's Philadelphia 76ers against Red Holtzman and the New York Knicks. That's always been a real Donnybrook when those two get together. 4 o'clock Christmas Day, right here on CBS. From the 46, Kim Jones and Strawn, the running backs. 17-10, New Orleans now like to kill the remaining time. Off to Kim Jones, who fumbled a moment ago. And Jones gets to the 46-yard line. Mike Washington making the stop.
Jones is really kind of frustrated, I'm sure, because he's a fine football player. Never gets much of an opportunity to play because he's playing behind Tony Galbraith. But I assure you that he's a good player, very dependable, very steady, and a good team guy. Very good also on specialty teams.
He gained 229 yards in a game while playing at Colorado State, which broke Lawrence McCutcheon's record. So Galbraith and Muncie are sitting on the bench together on the far side, both of them injured on the same play. And right now the Saints with their backup running backs at the 2:52 mark. 2nd down, 2 yards to go. Up the middle, Mike Strawn, he's got the first down. Now New Orleans in very good shape.
That's a good play. Again, that's only about the 2nd or 3rd time they've run, I should say, that direct handoff, and they've made good yardage on it all the time. But you have to hit the Tampa Bay defense very quickly because, again, they pursue so well.
There they are. See Galbraith, 34, and Muncie, number 42. I don't know the extent of their injuries. Galbraith they had to help off. Muncie just walked off on his own. Boy, those two guys. You made that draft that year. You got some football players, a number 1 and a number 2 pick in 75.
Yeah, I think really they're as fine a tandem as there is in the National Football League. They're big and they're strong and they're fast and they can really play.
And the 2-minute warning is here as New Orleans letting the clock run. They're 2 minutes away from victory number 7 here in 78.
Kathy, what are you doing in the dark?
Waiting for Santa.
Ho, ho, ho.
I wonder what he'll bring me.
Well, have you been a good little girl?
Person. Good little person.
Hey, person. Merry Christmas.
Oh, I was dreaming. But I never...
Make a dream come true this Christmas from Christmas Dreams Diamond Collection 79.
It's time to fall in love again with a beautiful new breed of Mustangs from Ford. Mustang 2-door with its striking new aerodynamic line. Mustang 3-door with dramatic sports car styling and the spirit to take you where you want to go. And Mustang Ghia with the proud look and elegance of a thoroughbred. The beautiful new breed of Mustangs for $79. Capture one for yourself and fall in love again at your Ford dealer now.
7. Two minutes remaining as you take a look at the Swashbucklers. Cheerleaders, the National Football League has some cheerleaders, don't they?
Normally, you know, this team, to make another point, Gary, normally both teams, as I mentioned earlier, have 13 possessions. With just 2 minutes left in the game, both teams have 12 possessions at this stage of the game.
So with exactly 2 minutes left, Archie Manning on a first down gives off to Kim Jones, and a big running back out of Colorado State's inside the 35-yard line. I mean big. He's 6'4". He weighs 235 pounds.
And he's got good speed along with it.
Well, a little unhappy about how he was treated on that play. Jordan and Selman are over there. Selman wants a timeout now, and he's going to get it. So Tampa Bay stops the clock with 1:38. They still have 2 timeouts remaining. So the Saints will have a 2nd down and 8 when we come back. Dewey Selman upset that he didn't get that timeout quicker than he did. Boy, this guy is quite a football player out of the University of Oklahoma. 3rd year. He's a guy that calls all the defensive signals. Of course, he and his brother Leroy Selman, the two from Oklahoma, and when they drafted them, number 1 and number 2 in '76, they absolutely solidified a defense for years to come.
Yes, if they can just keep them healthy. They lost them early the first year. They had them healthy last year. This year they lost them again, but they are two outstanding players and are going to make a strong contribution to this franchise as they progress and grow through the years.
You know, both of them were excellent students at Oklahoma, and they call Selman a real student of the game. But he is the guy that really has a lot of in-depth looks at football. He studies the game continually. They say he also has quiet nastiness. In other words, doesn't say a lot, but he'll come out and he'll hit you. 2nd down 8 now. The ball at the 35, 1:38 left. Tampa Bay has used their first timeout. There's a give to Strawn. Strawn trying to cut it, spins and makes it to the 32-yard line. David Lewis over to make the stop on the play. And Tampa Bay may be using their 2nd timeout and will. So they stop the clock with 1:32. They have 1 remaining. And we're going to take a timeout here from beautiful Tampa Stadium. The Saints leading it 17-10.
A guy I know tells me this Sunbeam adjustable groomer razor is the greatest shaver ever made. Well, I say, so what? I'm a blade man. He says, try it and you won't be. He's right.
Here's how Sunbeam's groomer razor works. 12 stainless steel blades cut at 8,000 strokes a minute through the thinnest shaving head you can get. Stands whiskers up and shears them off, at or below the skin line.
You a blade guy? Try this. It may be the last time you use a blade.
Daddy, how do you spell North Pole?
There's one time of year that's always special, the holidays.
Think I have too many things on my list, Dad?
If extra cash can make your holiday extra special, see Beneficial. At this expensive time of year, we want to lend you the full amount you have in mind.
Why does Santa bring me presents, Daddy?
Because he loves you very much.
See Beneficial. Give your family a holiday to remember.
It's beneficial. You're good for more.
On a 3rd down and 3, Manning gives to Kim Jones, and Jones is going to get the 1st down, and that'll just about do it for New Orleans. So they had a 3rd down and 3. Kim Jones picks up the 1st down. The time running down, and Tampa Bay is going to use their 3rd and final timeout. But now New Orleans with a new series. The ball at the 26-yard line of Tampa Bay. So the Buccaneers have run out of timeouts. So Tampa Bay will finish the year. A 5-11 record. Certainly much better than last year when they won only 2 games. New Orleans now will pick up their 7th win of the year. As Dewey Selman on the near side has the information from Abe Gibran, who's up here to our left, the defensive coordinator, chief assistant, an old friend of yours, Hank.
You want to get down the elevator fast, go down with him after the game. You'll get to the airport in a hurry. You might not be in very good shape, Gary, but you get down fast.
Abe Gibran, Joe Gibbs, their offensive coordinator, who came over from the Cardinals. Very high on Doug Williams. Bill Nelson, the quarterback coach. Got a fine staff here in Tampa Bay. John McKay now with his team trying somehow to get the football. 1st down 10 at the 26, and Manning's just going to fall on it because there are no timeouts remaining. So he's just going to really march this clock off now. He can take, of course, 30 seconds before he has to call another play. He might even take the 5-yard delay of game call. There's Dick Nolan on the far side, along with Paul Wiggin, one of his offensive coaches. You look back on the Saints. They started the year off with a surprise win over Minnesota. They were rolling very well. They were 5-4, and they had won 2 games on the West Coast. They defeated San Francisco along with Los Angeles, and then they lost 5 of their last 6. Also, our producer Bill Barnes, our director Bob Dunphy, we thank you, men, for your leadership this year on all of our telecasts and the support that you've given us. Rupert Kopanex from the New Orleans area, our associate producer. Our statistician, Sam Bennett. Our spotter is Scott Lynn. What a pleasant afternoon to play football.
Oh, it's been super, and The New Orleans team really deserves a lot of credit. They've done an excellent job, wind up with a very fine record.
And there's
7-9.
Ticking away. The NFL Today coming up next with Brent, Jane, and Irv. As a final score, the New Orleans Saints defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 17-10. As they now finish 7-9 in 1978. Tampa Bay finishes 5-11, losing 7 of their last 8, 4 in a row. And New Orleans avenges that loss that was handed to them last year, 33-14, a game in which Tampa Bay had ended a 26-game losing streak. So it's all over from Tampa Bay. Excellent performance today by Archie Manning. Manning throwing the ball 36 times, completing 25. Also, Tony Galbraith, he sets a new record for a season, breaking the old record of Danny Abramowitz, who had 73 catches. Galbraith moves over that. And I guess the big story is whether Galbraith was hurt. It's serious enough that there might have to have some postseason surgery as he was carried off the field.
Yeah, I surely hope not, because he's been very lucky for 3 years and hasn't been hurt at all. I'm looking for him on the field, but I don't see him. And I don't know whether he's able to walk off by himself or not, but hopefully it was nothing serious.
And I think another guy we should certainly hand some plaudits to is Henry Childs, the tight end. Childs coming in here today, went over the 50 mark in receptions, and he caught what amounted to be the winning touchdown at the 10:56 mark, a 2-yard grab from Archie Manning. So Tampa Bay had tied it up 10-10 at the 14:57 mark of the fourth quarter, but then New Orleans came roaring right back. A beautiful drive with Archie Manning hitting Childs, a 2-yard pass at 10:56 to make it 17-10, and New Orleans winning their 7th game of the year. Well, Hank, we'll be together next week. It looks like Atlanta. We're still waiting to see, as we'll be bringing the wild card game right here as the NFL on CBS will continue. I've enjoyed it today. Again, a thanks to Bill Barnes and Bob Dunphy, who we've really enjoyed working with this year. A beautiful day. Temperature at kickoff time was 72 degrees. As we had 2 football teams today coming in here wanting to pick up the win to go into the 1979 year with some impetus. That's the reason John McKay started Doug Williams. It didn't work out all that well. However, Williams in the 3rd quarter started to come on and show the promise that everyone seems to feel that he has.
Yeah, there's no question about the fact that he's going to be a great quarterback in this league, provided he can stay healthy. But he's expressed some outstanding skill and ability in the games that we've seen, and everybody confirms the fact that he's going to be a very outstanding player.
Okay, Hank, we now take you to CBS Sports Control in New York.
Okay, another final is in 20-3. Philadelphia beats the Giants. Need help out on the coast now. If the Packers or the Vikes lose, the Eagles are going back to the playoffs. So we welcome that audience. Also, the crowd that has been watching Tampa Bay against New Orleans. Let's check in on some highlights right now. Let's start with the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Jets. The wind was gusting out at Shea Stadium this afternoon. Tony Dorsett scored the first touchdown for the Cowboys, weaving his way up the middle, 7-0 on the extra point. Now, Irv, here's Aaron Kyle on a key defensive play.
What a big afternoon he had. That's the second key play he made in the first half. He had an interception, and that one, of course, is a fumble recovery.
Now, Danny White hitting Butch Johnson right here.
You know, the Cowboys are so darn deep. When everybody heard they weren't going to start some of their starters, they felt, well, maybe they'd take a day off. Not so. Look at this guy.
Robert Newhouse returns from that slightly fractured leg, obviously. Danny White now looking for Billy Joe Dupree. On the fumble, it was picked up right there by Dorsett, who went all the way for the touchdown. Matt Robinson, the man who replaced the injured Richard Todd. Here he is coming out, looking for Jerome Barkham for the score, and the Cowboys go on to win it easily by a score of 30-7. All right, we've got New Orleans and Tampa Bay, and the Saints improving this year under Dick Nolan. So did the Buccaneers. Then, of course, they suffered the misfortune of losing their quarterback, Doug Williams. Here now is Archie Manning, looking right straight down the field to Childs, who was hit hard but holds on. From the 22, it was Chuck Muncie who was scoring the go-ahead touchdown. At that time, it was 10-3. Now Manning pulling straight back, and this pass will be intercepted by Dave Lewis. And Lewis of the Buccaneers will take it inside the 20. Now on the next play, George Ragsdale ran it to the Saints' 7-yard line. 4th and goal, and he's looking for Giles, and he's got him for the score. And here is Manning, who's going to the Pro Bowl in the LA Coliseum this year, behind Roger Staubach on the NFC quarterbacks. Touchdown pass to Henry Childs. Now, Irv, we've got the Giants in Philadelphia, and I guess your man Montgomery really started out good. Why don't you handle this one?
Wilbert Montgomery had a big day. He is now the Philadelphia Eagles' all-time leading ground gainer, and there he is right now, number 31 from Abilene Christian. This guy scored 76 touchdowns in college, and he knows how to get in the end zone. With that run, he set an all-time Eagle rushing record. Here he goes off his right guard for a touchdown, and the Eagles take a 6-0 lead. They miss the extra point. Jaworski goes up high to Harold Carmichael on an old alley-oop type pass. Remember, he's 6'8". Nobody can get it but Harold, and he comes down with it. A big play for the Eagles, putting him in scoring position on that drive. The Giants getting the ball, fake a punt here. Dave Jennings throwing the ball outside to Brian Kelly. He's hit, fumbles it, and of course Jennings has to recover the ball for the Giants. It was not the Giants' day. Frank LeMaster picking this pass off, setting up an Eagles scoring opportunity. The score at that point was 20-3, and the Philadelphia Eagles went on to win that ball game and are still alive for the playoffs.
Irv, San Francisco and Detroit, and the story here is Freddie Solomon. He's been forced to play quarterback for the 49ers. They have lost 2 quarterbacks to injuries this afternoon. Let's check in. Here now is Steve DeBerg and Jack Steptoe wide open. It was 7-3 49ers. But DeBerg was lost because of a knee injury. Gary Danielson, taking advantage of a fumble, gave it to Dexter Bussey. It was 13-7 Lions. Pass interference in the end zone on this sequence gave the Lions 1st and goal, and they scored from there. Here's Freddie Solomon at quarterback. And, of course, he came out of college as a quarterback before he was shifted to outside receiver by Don Shula. There is the pass now to number 85, Paul Seal, who is wrapped up. And the one thing all of you know that Solomon can do is run. And here he is. Going in for the touchdown. But they're behind 30-14 right now. And, of course, the key game for the Atlanta Falcons, all they have to do is win to wrap up the home field for the playoffs. But wouldn't you know it, they ran into a buzzsaw this afternoon in St. Louis. Here is Jimmy Hart going to Steve. Down to the 12-yard line, it was 1st down. Hart looking for Al Chandler. Chandler pulling away for the score. It was 14-7 Cardinals. Then on the kickoff, Dennis Pearson, the 5th-round draft choice, came right up the middle, got to the outside, broke a tackle, and went 100 yards for the touchdown that tied the score at 14. But the Cardinals came right back. 2 quick touchdowns put them back in command. Here is Hart on the keeper, getting to the corner, and he was able to score. And as you know, we have come to the end of our regular season coverage, and of course I want to thank all of the folks behind the scenes who help out here in New York. Without them, we couldn't get it done. From down in the hole where they bring you all those marvelous videotape highlights to into our control room. I don't know if our Mini is in there right now. We can take a shot of them as we go by, but maybe we've got it up here in the clouds taking the blimp shot for us. You never know where our cameras are. From Jane and Irv and Jimmy the Greek, we want to thank our crew in particular. We'll see you at halftime. Have a nice afternoon, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger in New York.
The NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to see and test drive the all-new LTD and Mustang. Light beer, everything you always wanted in a beer, and less. Alcoa, producer of energy-saving aluminum. And by Sylvania, makers of Superset Color TV and a complete line of home entertainment products. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.